Hello and welcome one and all. You are listening to Venture into Vimuros, an Ampersandbox production. I am Joshua McGee, your Dungeon Master and Story Weaver. I am here to inform you that our merch store is live, and you can find it in the description below. Check out some sweet teas, tanks, and others. And now for a quick recap. Previously on Venture into Vimuros, our party was led by Aban to the Terry, previously known to Josiah as a place of massive death. This location has been repurposed into a militia headquarters. The sole goal of this place is to build a weapon or two, build an army or two, and attack Edifos and bring down Victor, the current senator and military leader of Edifos. As they approach, they peep inside and see two of Josiah's old friends. This is episode 12, Change Initiative. It is time to venture into Vimuros. The time is 12:01 a.m., nearing the winter solstice. So it's a little bit chilly. It's cold and dark.
Nippy.
The cave is lit by two torches on either side of the far corners. Brigim is facing away, studying a map. Alphonse is looking at the same thing, except he's on the opposite side of the table, and he looks up to see Josiah approaching. Ah! Is that who I think it is?
Yeah. And Josiah's out of sorts right now. He's I think that walking through this and kind of like leading his new friend in Idris and leading Zanag in here for the first time, as well as no longer having Aurelia there to kind of balance him out now. I think that it's a little overwhelming for him, but he's making it through there and just kind of looking around the room, kind of seeing it in a new light. So I think he's not losing his confidence in this necessarily, but it's starting to weigh on him just how much more he feels they need to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's gonna walk up. He's gonna just like, yeah, it's me, uncharacteristically unconfident, and then also walking up to the table to see what the maps are that Brigim's looking at. So I think as he walks up, I think he's gonna pull himself a little bit up so he can see over the table. Being a halfling, he's kind of short. And Brigim, what are we looking at here?
As you guys approach this table, you two see like this unrolled scroll of stack of papers, and it's very large. They're about, and by very large by paper standards, I mean it's about 3 feet across, maybe 4 feet across, by 2 feet deep. And on them is just different elevation views of around the city of Edifos and the different type of inlets there might be, which you already know is just the two main access gates. And then he flips the page over and it zooms into the actual city and the city wall, the inner city, the city hall. At the bottom of the stack, he has the blueprints of the actual capital. Brigim looks up to you.
Hey, Josiah. I understand you are planning to execute our plan soon. However, there's been a change in measures, change in plans. I wanted to bring it to your full attention. I couldn't simply send a message.
Understandable. I feel there's been a change in plans in our purview as well.
How do you mean?
I think even more so as we're just he kind of, I imagine he would kind of step away from the table a little bit, maybe like turn his back to the group and, well, where's Rosalind?
Rosalind should still be stationed at the Griffin Spring.
All right, I'll need you to carry this to her as well when you're back in the city. We lost Reese and Barry, the barbarian and our cleric. We've gained a new ally in Idris. He's going to point over to Idris, who might have a...
Well met, Idris.
Don't let his disposition turn you away. He's a excellent fighter, and he might have some connections to other Terrys that we might be able to call on. However, he's gonna pull the leather cord out from like beneath his his scale mail in his jerkin,
Mhm.
and show the stone shattered off of it. We've lost Aurelia.
I had half a mind we had lost her sooner. When has she spoken to you last?
Well, it's been a while. However, there was always the faintest feeling that she was still there. Imagine like a bear in hibernation. You know that you could go into that den. You could scrounge around, but you don't want to, because if that bear awakens, it's gonna kill you. And it's a very similar feeling during the time that Aurelia was quiet. It felt as if she was gathering power. But she's gone now. I'd rather not dwell on it too much longer. So with my news out of the way, Brigim, if you don't mind sharing with the group, and Josiah's gonna step over to the side so he can Brigim can address everyone.
Well, here's our plan.
He pulls out a small baton to help assist pointing at these papers.
We're going to walk through the entrance, per usual, as if to enter the city. A few of us anyways. We're going to station our artillery outside the walls. We've measured we could probably launch accurate enough attack from outside the walls, having a small crew operating the artillery.
Alphonse has like a little notepad he pulls out. He's like, yes, I have all the calculations here. Depending on the wind that day, there's only a few minor adjustments. It should honestly go easily. I will lead the artillery attack from about 7,200 feet away from City Hall. Almost 2 miles.
Thank you, Alphonse. Josiah, you and your crew must enter City Hall no less than 2 minutes after the flare has been fired on our end. You must first make the call telling us when to strike after you have intelligence of Victor being in his office. But what I've been meaning to tell you, what I've been meaning to get to, as we've been bringing in people, as we've been bringing in material to build our artilleries, we've unfortunately attracted the other Terrys. Most of our inventory is gone. We'll have to start anew. And I refuse to rebuild from zero without first setting up some lines of defense here at our own Terry. We've lost too much as it is.
Well, we need more time anyway. Not really the perfect situation. I can't imagine Rosalind's too thrilled that her inventory has been taken. Alright, if you can get me a pen and paper, a quill and paper, I'll put the order down. The station we should have in reserve. We should have some men in the city who can come out. We'll need to make a schedule, a rotation, so they're not found by the guard. Yeah, this could work. This could work. Let's get this put down. I'll put my seal on it. But I think we're gonna have to hold off on an attack. About 2 months, fortunately. And I think that for anyone who knows Josiah very well, he's very. It's very much a. He seems distant. He seems kind of blank to a degree. Talking about this.
Josiah, when have you rested last?
I'd say I got a pretty good rest the other day, right, Zanog? I mean, I was dead.
As a doornail.
I've never seen you hold yourself in a weaker manner. Are you injured?
Wouldn't say injured. I feel all right. Feel fine.
Is it okay if I have a look at you, Josiah?
That's fine, but let's first let's get the order down. Brigim, I want to make this. I want to put this into action as soon as possible. We can't lose any more supplies. Secondly, when we get back, we do have a writ summoning our fantastic wizard over here to see Victor. So I
was
think
gonna say, if there's a problem getting to the Victor guy within 2 minutes, I think that's our problem, or our solution right here.
shouldn't be a problem at all now. And then Idris, your Terry, if you don't mind me asking, where was it located again?
Yeah, it's not too far. We could go and maybe get some resources. I was looking at the plans here, and how do you feel about adding some traps? Walking in, I noticed very few, and we got very close without anyone commenting.
I think that's an excellent idea, personally. A lot of our traps and means of defense would have been sprung and would be disabled currently if we were recently raided. However, we do need to resupply that.
Alphonse Talltail turns his full body to Idris. Sir Idris!
Anyone?
Sir Idris, your home Terry, your other Terry you're part of, what means of defense do they use? You mentioned traps, but do you have a person in control of traps? Perhaps a trap master?
We have several, yes. Each takes over a quadrant of the exterior of our Terry. Make sure that it's fortified, that there's a proper scout party. I used to be that myself.
What would be the price to hire a trap master from your ranks?
What do you have to trade?
Well, you understand our plan is to take down Edifos. We'll be elbows deep in their coffers.
And if I can interject, remember, Idris, what we talked about. If we can take Edifos, we can work out a plan to integrate your people as well as other Outlanders into the city. I would actually defer to Brigim on this, as he would be the captain of the guard at that point, alongside Tullum, once we can get this plan underway, and if we are successful. But we could make a plan to have your people integrate with Edifos.
I'm sure there are some there already, but I will think about it.
Any friend of Josiah's is a friend of mine.
Excellent. So, Brigim, let's get at least 50. I want at least 50 on card at all times. You can do 12-hour shifts, rotating them. We should have enough within the city to make that happen. We're going to need enough within the city to make that happen. We have 2 months. Myself, Zanog, and Idris are going to be going to Xylea to try and recruit, as well as Zanog has a personal connection that we need to go check out to Xylea, and then we'll make a stop at the Terry as well for Idris. Brigim, I'm going to defer to you for a moment. Alphonse, I'll see you shortly. I need to step outside. I think Josiah, as they're talking through all this, I think he more so being in this room and everything, where everything's happened prior, like where he lost all his men, it's kind of overwhelming him to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of starting to fall into those old memories more easily than he used to. And I can see him, as they're talking through this, starting to hear kind of like the scratching on the walls of like the Ember Hawk's nails, or the stomping of the feet of the orcs and everything that killed his men. So I think he is going to excuse himself for a moment to take a breath outside, and he's going to defer to Brigim for the moment.
Do you think this instance is going to call for a trigger roll on your emotional thing?
I think so.
All right, let's knock that out.
Right now, Josiah is at a D6. So for anyone curious, Josiah has lived 160-ish years. He went through the orphan system, as well as went through the military his whole life. He's been in many battles, and more specifically, this battle that led to them making their home operations here, killed all of his men. He's got a level of PTSD that was balanced out for a long time by Aurelia, and that he didn't have to actually deal with to a degree. And now that Aurelia's gone, we've implemented a system similar to the recovery system that Dimension 20 uses in the Unsleeping City Season 2, where Josiah will roll at certain triggers, and if he makes above 1/4 of that dice, then he makes it through the trigger and he's able to hold himself together. If he doesn't, then there might be he falls into a flashback that might debilitate him in some form or fashion, or it might set him back. Like maybe if it was in combat, it would set him back a turn.
Yeah,
you know,
like a
might stun him.
blackout PTSD episode.
Exactly. I do want to make it clear that with this, we are not trying to demonize PTSD. We just want to handle it more appropriately if we're having a character who has severe PTSD. So, with that said, I'll go ahead and roll the d6. So it should be on a 1 or 2 I fail, and on a
3 and up.
There we go.
2.
So, yep.
1 or 2.
So, yeah, so I think Josiah might start to a degree like hyperventilating to a degree and maybe walking across the wall, like not across the wall.
So it's walking on the ceiling.
With like a hand on the wall to make himself out, like to get outside just to get some air.
We
You know what I mean?
don't
Like
wanna demonize anybody with PTSD, so I began walking on the wall. Perfect setup.
We don't want to,
Exactly.
but we need to.
it has to happen. Yeah, I think like I was saying, he starts to, in his head, he's starting to fall into that place again. He starts hearing the Ember Hulk's roars. He starts hearing his men, like the gunshots again, and he starts hearing the screams and falling back into that place. And I think he just needs to go outside for a minute to recuperate himself and bring himself back down to where he's at, or back down to Earth, you know. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to make his way outside, and he'll return in shortly when he's good again.
You've given us what you feel and what's on the inside. What do we see from the outside?
Yeah, I think that when Brigim asks if he's all right, I think that that's part of like what pushes the trigger, you know. And I think that there's a little bit of a tremble in his hands as he starts to kind of walk away, and he's, I need a second. I just need a minute. Just everyone leave me alone. You know, there's like an outburst of rage for a minute, and I'm going outside. And he steps out. He excuses himself, and I think once he gets outside, he's got his hand against the side of the mountain, and is just kind of breathing heavy and trying to pull himself back in to the moment, and trying to get out of that flashback.
Hello, quick break from the fun. Just a reminder that here at Ampersandbox, we want to thank you for watching and remind you to hit the follow notification button below if you're enjoying the show. If you want to support us, make sure to follow our socials in the links below and check out our merch store there as well. If you want to play a one-shot with us, make sure to follow our socials and join our ever-growing Discord for updates on games, streams, and all other content we have coming out. Now enjoy the show.
You guys say anything around the table here? Zanaga, Idris.
Idris would be wanting to know what they have at certain spots on the map. So just pointing like, do you have anything here or here or here? These would be great places for traps. As they like look up and they watch Josiah like walk out and take note.
Your expertise in defenses are immaculate, Sir Idris.
I just love traps.
all the same to us. We haven't focused on our defenses because we haven't had anything until of late.
I could help build some pit traps here and here, and some alarm traps here. Do you have any old cans or bottles?
We can place it on a shipment order. Their name.
Even garbage would work, really. We just need some twine and 1 order of old cans, please.
You seem viciously writing down everything you're saying.
And we could have someone with an axe just go out and chop some trees, so we have some spiky pits.
Well, I'm going to attend to Josiah for a moment.
He steps out here with you.
Commander, talk to me. You're not yourself, lad.
Brigim, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And I think that this is a moment that Brigim hasn't seen from Josiah. Like an emotion. Like, Josiah, even as a commander in the military, he had a wonderful career. Like, he overcompensated for his childhood by just doing as much as he could through the military, and like that's where he found his success. So Brigim wouldn't have ever seen this side of Josiah, even in the failure that cost all of his men's life. I mean, we have the speech that he gave to his men at that point too, and he was very still held together. So I think in this moment it would be jarring for Brigim to hear Josiah say that he's not sure if he can keep doing this.
You're ready for retirement. I understand.
How do you stop hearing them?
By pressing forward. Their lives have ended, not ours. They only live on through us at this time.
Brigim, this jaunt into Xylea is more than just for gear or supplies. I need to get away for just a little bit. It's not going to be easy. I don't have any misconceptions about that, but I need time.
It's understandable.
I imagine Josiah's not interested, but he opens up a satchel that's like on his side, and he has on his left hip there's about 4 or 6 potions. He's offering you different stuff you might have used in the military to kind of push through the heat of battle. You would recognize typical healing potions. You would recognize a potion of heroism, the elixir of health.
Anything in here you'd like to give a try?
I think that Josiah, he failed his roll, but he didn't get a 1. So I think in this moment he's still enough to like pull together enough to feel like he doesn't need that yet. And I think there's even a level of him being like, no, I can do this on my own. And Brigim, I just need time. Can you, if I give you command of this for my absence, and you take this until I get back?
By all means. Yes.
I think that he feels some weight off his shoulders there a little bit, and I can't look at Rosalind and tell her Aurelia's gone. Not right now. If I write you a letter, can you give it to her?
Josiah, I can't say I fully understand you, but I will do as you ask.
This isn't as a command. This is as a friend, Brigim.
You have my word. I will do right by you in your absence.
Thank you.
And he will hand you, whether you want it or not, he kind of forces it into your fist, the potion of heroism.
Use this next time you're feeling down.
Yeah, I think Josiah will look at it, looking at the liquid kind of moving in the bottle for a second, and just nod before putting it on like a little strap, like strapping into his belt, you know, like a little potions strap. Man, I made a little bit of a scene in there. We should get back in there. All right. Thank you, Brigim.
Chin up, Commander. As best as you can. Time for rest is soon. And a much-needed vacation is in your near future.
And before you guys go back inside, meanwhile, at the same time as this, Tall Tale's like talking to Idris and Sanog. Yes, they did steal many of our wares. However, there's a few things we weren't wanting to lose. He slowly looks up at the ceiling. If you catch my meaning, as you guys match his vision, his view, as you guys match what he's doing, you look up at the ceiling, and you see there's like leather straps holding different items strapped up to the ceiling. Zanog, you would immediately see an elven cloak. Something that catches your eye is a quiver. You'll have to get it down to further inspect it. And also gazing up there, Alphonse Talltale says, "We had a rifle specifically crafted for our commander. I was very excited for Josiah's return." As you're stepping back into this cave, Josiah, you do hear that last line of the special. You see everybody gazing at the ceiling, and you hear Alphonse talking about a rifle crafted specifically for you.
Oh. Wonderful. So it seems that they didn't get everything, did they, Brigim? Nice thinking.
Yeah. Honestly, it's because we needed the floor space, but I'm glad it didn't get taken.
It's the cloak of protection, right? Not something else.
Yeah, it's the whatever the uncommon level one is.
How high up is the ceiling?
Maybe 12 feet.
I think
I think
Idris would do
Go
a
ahead.
little weird flex at the moment. Would pull the surrounding soil and rocks to make a 5-foot pedestal underneath their feet,
Mm-hmm.
the mold earth,
Yes.
to reach, and would continue to do it until they're able to reach the quiver and other items.
Yes, you may do so. You begin to disassemble these leather straps that are kind of just nailed into the ceiling, and you pull down each of these weapons.
Nice. I think.
See, if I do the inverse of this, it's a pit, and then people fall in it.
Oh, alright, Idris. We get it. We need to put traps. I understand. We fight
Or if I
differently
do
over
this
here.
on the ceiling, but I make it very weak, then it falls on people.
Well, we'll make sure that Brigim takes your advice and Alphonse puts it into practice.
Excellent.
Now, hopefully, the rest of your people are just as resourceful as you.
We're very accommodating.
I hope so.
Eznog's like putting on the cloak, donning the cloak. He's been standing over the map, being like,
So, is the plan to artillery the city? Are we killing innocents here? What's going on?
That would be a distraction. We're not killing innocents. The artillery will be manned by Alphonse, who can get away quickly with the men who are manning it. However, it's just a distraction. We just need to get the guard off of our back.
Right? Are you shooting blanks? Like what is happening? Like
So
Fire works really well.
it does, but it also kills really quickly. The smoke inhalation it'll bring you down very quickly. So the plan is to, I don't know how else to say other than to purposely miss. Imagine you're standing the 2 miles outside the city. A few of the shots will hit the walls and cause some damage, but no more than structural damage. It will have to be repaired eventually. The majority of this is to bring the attention away from us as we make our way through city capital. We also have the militia members on the inside who are going to make sure that the innocents who are not involved in this are taken to safety. What you guys see here is a very small amount of a lot of Edifos is unhappy with the current structure of things. And a lot of families are tired of giving up their children.
I mean, I understand that. For the plan, I just think it'd be being a little more direct might help us out.
If Brigham's back in here, Josiah will kind of look over at him and, well, while we're gone, well, myself, Uzanog, and Idris are gone on our trip, Brigim will have plenty of time to figure out how to have a more direct strategy, as I've made a decision to, for the next 2 months and until we return, defer command of this organization to Brigim. It's not an easy decision, but I think it's the right decision.
I will tell you these items right now that you got. Zanog receives the Cloak of Protection. You gain a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws while you wear this cloak. Josiah receives a hunting rifle +1. You have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. The hunting rifle is a 2-handed firearm with a base damage of 2d10 piercing. Idris receives a prismatic quiver. This is a homebrew item, and the description's a bit wordy. This quiver's compartment connects to an extra-dimensional space that allows the quiver to hold numerous items while never weighing more than 2 pounds. The compartment can hold up to 60 arrows, bolts, or similar objects. Alternatively, the compartment holds up to 18 javelins or similar objects. The quiver has 3 charges. While wielding it, you can expend one of its charges to transform one piece of ammo it is carrying into a prismatic version of itself. The quiver regains 1d4 minus 1 expended charges daily at dawn. Prismatic ammo has a similar appearance to its material counterpart. It keeps the same shape as normal, but dissolves into multicolored rays of glowing light. You can use an action to attack with the prismatic ammo. 8 rays of light flash into a 60-foot cone originating from you. Each creature in the attack area must make a dex saving throw equal to 8 plus twice your proficiency modifier. For each target, roll a d8 to determine which color ray affects it. 1 through 5. The target takes 66 damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Number 1, the color is red. Number 1, the color is red and the damage is fire. Number 2, the color is orange and the damage is acid. Number 3, the color is yellow and the damage is lightning. Number 4, the color is green and the damage is poison. Number 5, the color is blue and the damage is cold. If you roll a 6, the color is indigo. On a failed save, the target is restrained and must then make constitution saving throws at the end of each of its turn. If it succeeds a save, the condition ends. 7, violet. On a failed save, the target is blinded for up to a minute. At the end of each of its turns, it must make a constitution saving throw. On a success, the effect ends. If you roll an 8, special effect. The target is struck by 2 rays. Roll twice more, re-rolling any 8s.
This is wonderful. Is there anywhere I can rest for a moment? I have to call upon a friend for assistance.
Both Brigim and Talltale, they give you an open palm gesture to a tight passageway in the back that leads to, I guess, the bigger area of the cave, where you can find some solitude. As you make your way down the hallway, everybody hears from back here. Might I ask, what type of thing are you trying to do right now? Because I want to see if I would place this before or after what happens next.
Just to make it easy, I'm just find familiar.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We'll run through that real quick.
And I was gonna try and summon a flying snake.
Sounds like something you can do.
Does it fly in from the entrance we just came through? It seems there's no windows in here.
Slithers from up above.
Yeah, you just actually might look in here and be like, "There's nowhere it can come from," and just start running back outside. Excuse me, sorry. I actually have to go this way. Don't worry about me. I gotta go outside. I don't need a gnome or mole or whatever those ground things are. I gotta find a snake. Okay, I'm gonna go in this. There should be a snake somewhere around here.
You talk to him.
Talking and there's just I don't know.
A person clearly needs to stick to traps.
Yeah,
Interesting character we found on the road.
Honestly, it seems like he knows what he's doing.
he's excellent at what he does.
You should probably take a look at him, Doc, because some weird affliction they got going on.
I'm not sure that's something I can help.
Just take a look at it.
Idris, you find what you're looking for. Describe that.
So yeah, over the course of the next 10 minutes, using various incense and chanting, a lot of just being Harry Potter from the first movie. Eventually, a small snake slithers by, freshly cooked, medium rare. Yeah, a snake slithers to what looks to be this slight cliff edge, and then glides down as it opens its wings.
Nice.
As it is a familiar that I notate something and hand to it so that it flies away after I give it a command.
Okay.
Does it grab the note by the mouth?
I actually kind of just wrap it around it and then tie it around it.
Yeah.
As I've just tell it to go back to my Terry, specifically to my patron.
Nice.
Yeah, who needs a pigeon when you have a snake?
Also to yourself.
Yes, I talk. Yes, it's that internal monologue.
But it's excellent.
What'd you say? Yeah.
The stable master tending to the tamed crawler gives you a confused look and says, thank you.
Why? Why do you say thank you?
A steak also showed up.
Alright,
Snake carrying a stake.
Idris, you can go back in that room. I can tell.
Excuse me, pardon me. Don't mind me. You know, you should really put a trap right there. Maybe like a bear trap under your seat. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. I'll put it there later. Just don't sleep on that cot. Hey everybody. I'm back.
Welcome back. I assume you had a lovely time communing with your friend.
Yes, I sent a message. So if you see a flying serpent, don't worry. Invite it in.
That's something I'll have to spread the word on. That seems like something that would normally get struck down in this area.
Don't do that.
Can I just do an insight real quick on? Because I mean, like I know Idris, but I don't know Idris. You know what I mean?
An insight on Idris?
Yeah. I just want to see like the what I'm trying to find is the intention of the message. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm gonna base this off his charisma. Idris's charisma's 10, so we'll go off that.
Awesome. It's a 12.
Okay. Idris, describe your intentions out of character to Josiah, since he did not directly ask you.
Okay, so my intentions are I was handed a golden goose and I have a very big decision of what I want to allow. So I'm the cat who swallowed the canary, or in this case, the snake that swallowed the rabbit.
Nice.
I'm just happy at the
Yeah,
moment.
it doesn't feel like malcontent. It feels more just like you've walked into a situation that could be very good for you.
Yeah, because you all have basically offered like any assistance, name your price, and like have a big toll.
Idris has never met such little resistance.
Desperate times, right?
A lot of prejudices out there that would otherwise slow him down.
Yeah.
Slow them down. You must forgive me. You hear a knocking sound of rock on rock or stone on stone at the entrance. Hello. You'll have to pardon my interruption. A drow woman approaches with a shaved head apart from a flowing, shaved except for like the mohawk area. The hair is very silky, very straight, about shoulder length. This drow seems obviously dark in color, but with more of a purplish tone than you would expect.
We really need to install some sort of traps. Anyone can just walk in.
Or at least a door.
That's
or
what I've been
something.
saying.
Yeah, like a
I mean, I can put a
doorbell.
door there. Idris just like lifts their hand and slowly starts lifting the ground to make a door. Like this, you know.
Well, let's not close it all the way in. We do need to see still.
Oh yes, and just puts it back down.
Hello.
Brigim, this is all you.
Ooh,
Josiah's watching Brigim take care of this.
Brigham steps closer, drawing his bow.
who in the nine hells are you?
She was walking slowly towards the table, now taking 2 small steps back and lifting empty palms. I am Nakita. Thank you one and all for tuning in. I am Josh McGee, your Dungeon Master and Story Weaver. Remember to like and share all of the things, and follow to keep current with all things Ampersandbox. We thank you for sharing this wonderful podcast with your friends and enemies. Who is Nakita? What does she want with this Terry? Are they a friend or a foe? Find out next time.